excited. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're going to, hi, here we go. Okay.
Now we're going to so long. Okay. Now we're going to get but we have to turn our volume down on the.
Oh yeah. I'll turn mine down. All right.
I'm just going to turn my thing down so we can hear each other here, but not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'll turn my volume down. Okay. Hang on.
Okay. Just summons me when you are ready to go on.
Hey, hello people. Okay, good. Let me grab you. Why do they have, I can't do multi on this. That's funny. Hi guys. Hang on. I have to figure this out. I have no idea why I can't do that, but I think I know what it is. Welcome in guys. Welcome in.
Let's see you.
I don't know why I can't. Let me do this. Okay.
I'm coming.
Okay, now I can do you. Okay. That I had to finish. Okay, got you. I invited you. Yay! Okay, well, hopefully we're not nagging. Welcome in, people. Welcome in. So good to see everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome. Yay. I love it when we're on together. Yay! Did you see we're kind of both pinkish? Did you notice that? Hi.
Hello, hello.
Oh, can you guys hear us okay? Make sure you guys can hear. Hello, hello, hello. This is exciting. Okay, I'm going to put it out to some of our friends too. This is amazing. Yeah. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. We are getting started. We are getting started. Just give us a second. Hi, Amy's here. Hello, Amy. It's echoing. Okay, good. All right. So let me take this off. We have to figure out the echoing part now. What does that mean when we're echoing? What do we have to do again? Do you know this?
One of the things has to be turned down. I thought by turning our TikTok down, it would be okay.
Okay.
But
we're figuring out this, guys. So hold tight. Hi, Ladora. Hey, Christine. Good to see you guys. I can also, let me take this out. I think because I also have a mic, so maybe that will help.
That's what happened last time. You had to take your mic off.
I took my mic out. Now, let us know if our sound is okay. We're trying to make sure we don't have a buzzing noise, you guys. So welcome in, everybody. Hi, Grace. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Let us know how the sound is because we know that's typically a little challenging. And we're hoping we can figure that out. We are also on the Tube of You if you want to join us there as well.
I wonder if...
Okay, hold tight.
I wonder if we turn our volume down on the StreamYard and turn our volume up on TikTok, if it will stop echoing there and still be able to process sound over here.
Yes. Now, do we both have to do that?
I don't know.
Do we? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, hang on. We're trying to figure out the echo.
I'm going to mute over here. Hold on. Mute.
Okay.
And then turn up here.
All right. I hear that.
Oh, I hear it.
I know I do. I turned mine down. Sorry, guys. We're trying to figure out the echoing part, hopefully, because that's got to be right.
Yeah.
It was the road. Okay. All right. Let us know how it sounds now, guys, on both sides. I took out my mic just in case. But let us know. That's better. It's not echoing anymore. Yes.
Woo.
We can problem solve.
I'm echoing.
Carey sounds sharp. What are you trying to say, Lorenda? What are you trying to say? Is it still sharp?
It's echo. I'm echoing.
Oh.
Mute or StreamYard.
Yeah. Do you want me to mute my StreamYard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. Hang on, friends. Okay.
Or at least, well, it.
Hi, guys. We're still figuring out our mics. Hold tight.
Oh, so.
I know. We're going to figure this out. Sound check.
Sound check. Can you guys hear us on? Oh.
That's worse. Okay, we're going to figure this out. Hang on tight. Hi, guys. Welcome. So it's my mic. Now I can't hear that at all. Oh. I don't hear the buzzing sound at all.
I don't.
Sounds normal.
I'm echoing. Let me go out and come back in.
Okay, I'll be here waiting for you. And then if anyone has any diagnostic help, let us know because we're always open for feedback. Lorenda's going to come back and come in, and we're crossing
for feedback.
Lorenda's
going to come back and come in, and we're crossing our fingers.
Oh, hi, Dana.
Hi, Dina.
Okay, crossing our fingers. We're trying to work out the sound. Sounds bad. We've got, because we're on two. We're on TikTok and we're also on the Tube of You. Hang on a second. That sounds better.
But what about me?
Oh no, I wonder what. Okay, we're going to be able to figure this out. Okay, here's what we diagnostically. One, we are not. Hi, Jennifer. Okay, we are not using mics, so that's good. We aren't using headphones. That's good. What
now
else?
I'm not using a mic. Oh, it's
still there. We're going to figure it out. Hang tight, everybody. See, Ladora came in here, so maybe she can help us figure it out.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Paula. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are trying to figure out our sound because we're in two places. But you're saying that am I echoing still?
You're not.
Okay.
I am. And there's no reason to.
And there's no reason to. Okay, I'm going to write this out. Okay. Hang on.
Is your volume, what are you listening through StreamYard or are you listening through your phone?
I'm listening through, well, I put myself on mute. Now, how do I mute myself on StreamYard? That's the one thing I don't know how to do. I muted my.
I'm muting okay.
I turned my volume down.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's probably it. Okay. Okay.
How is that now?
I bet that fixed it.
Now I can't hear you now. Okay, I'll just turn it up a little bit. Let me see.
No, but turn on your phone. Turn it up.
Okay, turn it up on my phone.
We're listening on TikTok.
Okay. Now I can hear you on TikTok.
Yes.
Well, at least.
But now turn your volume down on StreamYard.
Okay, that I did. Okay, so I can. Okay, it's computing. It's computing, and everyone's saying we sound good now. Oh my gosh, it's happening. Okay, good. Hello, hello. Cutting out on YouTube over here. Okay, let's keep working on it.
Now, can you guys still hear us on YouTube? It's just cutting out, or is it like, what's the deal? Because I didn't mute on YouTube. I just turned it down so I can't hear.
Yeah, let us know because we're figuring this out.
Okay, they say they can still hear us. That sounds good. Okay.
Okay. Oh my God, we are figuring it out. Let's give our guides a round of applause because I think our guides probably told us what to do. They're like, listen, here's the exit strategy. This is how you're gonna do it. Now the problem is I don't know where to look when I'm looking at you. I'm probably gonna like split personality just like that. Okay, Amber says it sounds good. Good, you figured it out. Okay, good. We figured it out. Welcome in, and everybody can hear us. Lorenda Carr.
Carey.
How are you? It's so good to see you, and it's so good to have everybody here. Thank you for joining us. Well, first of all, we want to say we're live both on the Tube of You, and then we are live on TikTok. So if you're joining us, please be sure to say hello in the chat. Let us know. We would love if you guys could do us a favor. If you're watching Lorenda or if you're watching me, go to our daily heart me's. And also it helps us do this really wonderful educational content for you guys live. If you help us just with sharing this to friends, making sure to make it a popular, interesting live so that we can help as many people as possible and get the word out. And all the good things. All the good things. Oh my gosh. And so I'm so excited. Lorenda and I are going to have a great conversation before we get started. We'd love for you guys just to put any comments you have and we'll try to answer what we can. We're very excited you're here. I'm excited to see you because you and I haven't had we saw each other Tuesday morning, but we haven't had a chance to kind of connect and there's been so much going on. So, but we are going to talk about our experience at Camp Chesterfield. Yay. So first of all, you should start the conversation because this is your home base, right? This is your place. So
we went to Camp Chesterfield to do Trance Mediumship Weekend. It's the first time they've done a trance mediumship weekend in a very, very long time. They don't typically allow trance mediumship on the platform at Camp Chesterfield, unless you are supervised by a teacher. And hi, Christy. So it was a really, really cool experience because we took classes from my mentor, Reverend Glenda. She's the one that put together the whole workshop. And then we took from Charles Kapladlo. We took from a guest that came in, Elizabeth.
I loved, from Michigan. Absolutely loved her.
Stunning teacher.
I definitely want to work. I definitely want to work with her. She was beautiful. Such a great soul.
And then we got to meet Regina was there.
Regina was there. Tammy was there. Amy was there. Oh my God. All the queens came out. It was all your students. Courtney was there.
It was so amazing.
So great. Yeah, it was amazing. Hi, Holly. Yeah.
And then, and was that Holly that we met? Is that the Holly?
No, that's our other Holly. That's Healer Holly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then Jen was there at our show. Jen, but never Jen.
Right. Exactly. Holly.
She was at our show with Michelle Euler on that Friday night. We haven't even talked about that.
I know. We have a lot to talk about before we get into the channeling, y'all. So stay tuned. Make sure also quickly, I just want everyone to have the option. Lorenda and I are both streaming live on the Tube of You. So make sure you guys go over there and check us out and hit that sub button. I'm like talking in code. It helps us a lot with our channels and this free education. Eileen, it helps us with free education. I think that's really important is when our channels are thriving, it helps us to do our jobs and put more attention into it. Right, Lorenda? So yes. So following, liking, sharing, and also watching our videos is super helpful. Thank you so much for the health of our channels. So thank you. So tell the people, what is trance mediumship and trance channeling and then trance healing? Because a lot of people don't necessarily know what those terms mean. So would you be so kind as to explain?
I sure can. Thank you so much. And by the way, anyone who was there that weekend can attest this is exactly how we talk to each other.
It's very true. This is like we are trance mediums. Like anybody coming in, who's here? Oh my God. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And also, I'm not going to lie. I'm sad that nobody got it on video. You coming around the corner dancing
with my for Greece. Yeah, that was so. That was so fun. And the music itself was so loud. It was so much fun.
And it was a show tune, which was right on brand with what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yes,
how Spirit will drop little nuggets to give you a heads up that they're coming and that they're coming in, and it makes it a fun game. It's kind of cool.
Yes, absolutely.
So that weekend we did Trance Weekend where we took classes on how spirit identification, working with your spirit guides, because I don't know if you know this, but your spirit guides are kind of an important part of trance channeling in order to help regulate things, to help moderate things. It's kind of like when you go willy-nilly live on TikTok, sometimes you need to have moderators.
It's so true. If you guys want to go, if you guys want to follow either Lorenda or I on the Tube of You, go to our pictures. We have links there. So they're completely links there as well. That's how you find them on Tube of You.
Yes.
Welcome into our friends who are joining us. Just so you know, if you're just joining us, hi everybody. I'm seeing a lot of wonderful mediums coming in. So I'm so excited you guys are here. So Lorenda, Carr, and I. So first of all, Lorenda and I we're very dear friends. We are mediums. So we're evidential mediums, but we also do trance mediumship, trance healing, and the like. And so Lorenda's now explaining what is trance mediumship. So you understand it. So that's what we're getting at. So good to see everybody. So happy to see you. Oh, you got some friends coming in. You have spiritual plumbers coming in. We have, yes. Yep. We have some wonderful mediums coming in. So anyway, Lorenda, I apologize. I interrupted you. Please explain.
You have got the spiel down. Meanwhile, I'm like, hi, I'm Lorenda. Let's talk about things. There's no spiel from me.
She's all, I've already started channeling. Okay. So what
Yay.
we're explaining is, what is trance mediumship? Please explain that. And you started to explain it, how your guides are important.
So
tell
the guides,
Mhm.
what I have found is that our guides are key to a successful connection with trance channeling. One, it makes you feel safe. Two, helps with the spirit identification. They help regulate your bodily interactions
Yes.
with the
Mhm.
spirit.
Mhm.
And the big thing is, like, for me, I got an
Listen.
entourage. My spirit team is my entourage when it comes right down to it.
Mhm.
You know? I utilize them to make me feel safe and comfortable when a spirit is stepping in.
Right.
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 So I am a big, and we talked a lot about that at Camp Chesterfield, you know, getting to know your guides in a deeper connection to where you have open line of communication with them, not just for doing mediumship, but just like your everyday life. So
Right.
spirit guides. Then we talked about spirit identification. One thing, if you've ever watched Carey and I work on this particular show before.
This is our live stream. We do this twice a month. It's called the channeling experiment. Just so I don't think everybody, and if anyone has questions about training, mentorship, please stick around. We'll talk about that eventually. But yes, and we do mentorship. Yes, we do classes. Yes, we help people. So stay tuned. So this is definitely, I think what we're talking about now is we're breaking down what trance mediumship is, what trance channeling is, what trance healing is, and then Lorenda and I work together to hold space for each person, each of us, to then trance channel. So that's the exciting part. Of course, the education's important, right?
Yes.
So what happens to you, Lorenda, when you bring when a spirit comes in? Talk to us about the process of that, please.
So before we do any kind of trance channeling, we get grounded, we bring in our guides, our team. And so, like, Lily is what we would call in the spiritualist tradition, a joy guide. Some people call them gatekeepers, mediumship guide, there's a number of names. She's my bouncer. She's the head bouncer. Like, she's my stage manager, whatever you want to call them. Right.
She is. And she does it with a smile. With a smile.
Mm-hmm. She will line up the spirits that are going to come through.
Yep.
Okay. She vets them. She gets their name, or she gets me the evidence so I can identify who's going to be coming through ahead of time. And then she adjusts my vibration through the day to be able to receive the spirit energetically. Because when we do trance channeling, the spirit blends with our energy. Mm-hmm. It's not possession.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that at all. Because number one rule is the medium is always in control.
Right.
And so it's not like we're going to be taken over and we have no control over it and our souls are lost. And there's nothing scary about it. It's actually a really cool process. And it's such a beautiful process too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful process.
Their energy, because we're energy on the other side, blend with our energy, and we give them permission to use our vocal cords. Mm-hmm. And so the energy steps in and we give them permission to speak through us. Now, do you feel her changing your vibration? We're going to talk about that. Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
And they'll do it in different ways, depending on the spirit that's going to be coming in. Right. Mm-hmm. And so when they help facilitate it.
Yeah.
Where they help bring that spirit guide in. My protector is right there with me. Mm-hmm. So there's no weirdness going on. And so they'll vibrationally align me to work with a spirit. And same for you. Like, that's just what they do. They vibrationally align us to be able to receive spirit and to be able to communicate effectively. So they bring them in. Sometimes there are things like dragons. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there are things like giant birds or owls.
Or ETs, or star beings. Yeah.
Or gods or goddesses. Like, it could be so many different things.
Sometimes they're plant spirits.
Plant spirits, yes.
Plant allies. Yeah.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
Elementals.
Yeah.
Like we get all kinds of different things, but our vibration as humans and functioning out in the world, just doing our thing, is not in alignment in the same, we're not playing the same station. So if we're looking at it radio waves or frequency, we're not playing the same frequency as
Right.
a spirit functioning every single day. So because we're just going about being human,
Right.
which can be pretty exciting in itself, right? It's a gift to be a human. So sometimes those spirits will, when we come in, we have to have our vibration has to be set on the right channel.
Yeah.
That's it. Like we have to be on the right channel, AM, FM, Sirius, whatever. Okay. So our guides help us with that. And then we have other guides that do other things. We've got our core guides, plus we got our outer band guides. It all depends on who's coming in and who's learning what in what situation. Right. So that's the long and the short of it, I guess.
Yes.
Of that. Now, somebody asked if I can feel the vibration change. And what's interesting is on Trance Weekend, that whole weekend, I could, every time someone would say something to me, I would get a show tune reference.
Yeah.
Remember that? I was like,
Yeah,
this,
I do.
Right, listen, I'm going to be bringing in a spirit that loves show tunes. I can feel it because every sentence turned into a show tune. So I was clairvoyantly, mentally getting things. Then I felt like I was living in deja vu nonstop.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if that's, instead of getting anxious, because back when I was first learning how to do trance, I would get, you remember that first time I went to that trance class with Glenda?
Right.
You remember, like, I was like, this is going to be huge because I'm anxious for days prior.
You could feel the you could feel the recalibration in your energetic field.
Yes.
And how that changes for you often beforehand. That's an important point.
Yes. You can feel the shift in energy. And now and like tonight, I was like, I did a reading today. I did a mentorship today. I've been out in the wild today and doing things like as a regular human. And I was like, I wonder what's going on. Because I've had kind of a crazy week too.
That's probably why.
That's probably why. Oh, I wonder if I'm even going to be able to do trance, or if I'm just going to be the battery tonight. And then all of a sudden I'm doing the dishes and I feel myself shift.
Yeah.
And it feels like I'm in deja vu.
Yeah.
Nonstop. And I'm like, this is what happened at Camp Chesterfield before I was able to bring in a loved one and before I brought in someone's spirit guide. And so it all ended up making sense.
Yes.
And so now I feel that shift. I realize that when I get those weird, long deja vu, not the deja vu where you go, oh, I feel like I've been here before, but like,
right.
Oh, what's happening right now? I can feel that energetic shift. I feel that energetic shift.
Yeah.
Okay. Carey, I know everyone receives information differently. Everyone, and this is a really important thing for you guys to hear. Everyone receives this differently. How do you, like, before you're going to do trance channeling, like what happens with you?
That's such a great question. Thank you for that. But okay. So one of the things I think is very interesting with me with trance is that I started doing trance when I was in my 20s. So, and I did training this was very self-initiated training. I read books about it and it was just always like very natural for me. And I was like, and let's be honest, I did acting a lot as a child and it was so easy for me to improv and to like be into someone's energy. So, but what I'm noticing, and I'll be honest, like in a lot of the work I do, and this, me connecting with spirits and identifying has just been, it's very easy for me to do. So I think what's been happening, here's the difference now, but I was also didn't commit to doing trance mediumship, trance channeling for many years because I was like, well, I'm busy. I'll talk to I'll telepath with the beings and entities and goddesses, and then I'll get the information too, because I'm used to acting as the go-between, the bridge, and communicating. Okay, this is what they're saying, and this is what's going on, yada 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 yada. But then since you and I now are committing to this because the spirits want us to do it consistently so people, one, can learn how to do it themselves or take training, two, so the messages from the entities can come through. That's, I think, the number one reason that you and I are doing this is because you will see when these entities, or we'll call them spirits, but entities come through, the energy comes through. It's like when you go see Bashar, or if you ever watch Abraham Hicks, you're bringing through a higher level entity. And when you bring that through on the earth plane, it's highly healing. So because of that commitment, what they're doing for me more, instead of it being like, oh, there's an energy shift, I feel myself getting very organized and focused. So it's kind of like, okay, this is what we're doing. And then we're coming in, blah, 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 and going on and on. So it's like a focus energy. So Sylvester asked a really good question. Do you believe there's a difference between channeling and trance? Yes, there is. I'll say for me. So, and he knows this because he's a medium. It's a great question for everybody. But when you're doing channeling, first of all, you're not in the same deeper state where your consciousness has moved away from your space and the spirit has come in and really taken over your animism. When you're doing channeling, it's much more like inspirational speaking, which I know you do. So you're connecting with them and blending, but you're still very cognizant of the experience. So when a lot of people say I'm channeling, and they don't understand the difference between trance and channeling, they're more channeling. They're doing inspired speaking. Would you say that, Lorenda?
Yes. Inspirational speaking, inspirational writing, inspirational painting, inspirational dancing.
Yeah.
Inspirational movement. It's when the inspiration from spirit comes in, but it's not like they are taking over.
Right. It's not the same. Now you'll see, watch when Lorenda does it, watch when I do it, you will notice I'll just say I did some trance mediumship last night, and we brought through Mother Mary. I think because of the events in the world and needing healing in that maternal energy. And you could see in the difference in I said, okay, I want you guys to watch what happens. And then it was like, her energy was so different than my personality, and she was much more back in my body, and her voice was totally different, and then the vibration she emitted, everybody noticed those differences. So that's a really good thing for all of you to watch the transfiguration of both of us, of what happens when it's the different spirit. Like, you really can't make that up. I mean, you probably could if you're a good actor, but you can't make up the way it feels, the way it looks, the way the vibration is, right?
The energetic overlay, even.
The energetic overlay. Yeah, it's quite remarkable. So,
yeah.
So,
now somebody asks, and I think this is a question worth briefly discussing.
Okay.
Someone said, do you feel like you are disturbing their rest?
Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I mean, well, so first of all, they are just waiting. Like, all these guides, all these entities, all these beings are waiting to help us so much. I mean, they are waiting to get a word in edgewise, if I'm honest. So, I mean, and remember, we're not primarily we're channeling like saints and goddesses and deities and nature spirits and sometimes loved ones. Most of the time we don't bring through loved ones. When we're doing this channeling presentation style, we're not bringing through mostly people.
Yeah, on this platform we are not. However, at the workshop, we did bring through loved ones, and I did on platform.
Yes, that can be done. Now in this one, most of the time what we're bringing through high vibrational entities, I'll call them that really are bringing through messages that help humanity. And so they cannot wait to get the message out. They are literally waiting to connect with all of you, bypassing Lorenda and I and getting to you. And that's why Lorenda and I, like, for a long time, she and I are very busy. Not to like say that, but we are very busy people, but we are so committed to this because we know this is important. So they cleared our schedules out. They told us, you guys need to do this. And so here we are, and we're committed. And you want to give a voice to spirit, right? Just think about the messages that you get from, like, when you hear your favorite channelers who are very committed to the work and they show up consistently, it helps us, right?
It really does. It really does. And also, and really, when we do this work, our job really is to give spirit a voice. But also in this space, I feel like as mentors and teachers, we're not just here to do the dog and pony show. We're not here to be like, look what I can do. And then
we don't care about that.
We are here to demystify.
Yeah, we are.
To take away the fear, to show you how beautiful that connection to spirit can be. And what's interesting is I find that trance channeling is more natural than mental mediumship, because we don't have to try.
We get to show up lazy.
We just get to be like, I'm back here having a pina colada in the back.
I'm going to give you this question, because Sylvester, and I want to make sure you guys follow each other. He's a friend of mine here, and he's a wonderful medium. He's studying. He's been here with us on lives before, but I want you guys to connect. But he's asking the question, Lorenda. I want you to answer this. Can you explain trance configuration and what we may see? Can you answer that question?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, transfiguration. You know what I mean?
Transfiguration. I was
like, you know what I said. That's okay. You probably, it was my word. It was my wording, I'm sure.
The figuration, like, it's like an overlay when the spirit steps in.
Overshadowing. Yep.
And they blend with your energy. You can see the spirit move in. You can see them drop in. And this is actually a really good thing. We're going to be doing this in my class on Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday, is when the spirit steps in, pay attention to how they come in. Do they come in from the right, the left? Do they come in from above? You can see the energetic shift of how they come in. So I can tell you, like, Lily comes in from a specific direction, and you can see that overlay of energy. But in the transfiguration happens when my face takes on her personality.
Your neck, when she comes in, like, your neck always goes like.
She's very, she's
very tall. She's very tall. Every time I'm like, here she comes, and I go.
And now, okay, so going back, I know I keep talking about the owl thing only because it was so surreal. But like, somebody's philosopher guide came in at Camp Chesterfield through me. And it was an owl, but they were this giant owl. And I felt like I had wings. I felt like my head could have spun all the way around on my head or on my neck. And I could feel like
it was like that was a big shift. That was one of your biggest ones.
That was a huge shift. And you got to see it in person. It's very different in person than it is on camera. Now, the nice thing about camera is when you do catch the transfiguration, you see the transfiguration.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
And undeniable at that. Because I tell you what, I am not that good. I can dance on stage and smile, but acting is not my gig. It's not my gig. I've had stage experience, but there were never any Emmys, Oscars, any of that.
Exactly. So if you want to learn about trance channeling, trance mediumship, Lorenda teaches trance mediumship. So she's
a workshop currently going.
So please reach out. So here's a really good question, and then maybe we should get stirring with some media. We should get to work in a minute. Do you have any more? If you want to talk about more things, let me know. So here's what Heber asked. What would you say helped you most when working with the fear of stepping aside? We should both answer this. I don't think you have as much fear here, but of stepping aside and letting them step in. Do you want to answer first? You want me to? What do you want to do?
Go ahead. You go.
Okay. So here's what happened. So when I was I started my spiritual path when I was 22, and I started channeling spirits when I was 24, 25. Okay. If you guys know, did you ever watch the movie The Exorcist? I just like to tell these stories because I think it's good to demystify what happens. Okay. And I had a healthy fear actually of extraterrestrials. Okay. This was me. So here's how I dealt with this. What I understood in a fundamental level was that I am a sacred sovereign being, and I am more powerful than any energy, period, and that no one can take over my space. 1. 2, my spirit guides always have my back, and I trust the beginning, middle, and end. But I have had times on my journey when I had to deconstruct, and I had to ask those questions, and I had to make sure. But that's made my discernment so laser sharp. Like I can feel and know and identify a spirit with such specificity now. Like, and Lorenda's the same, where I can go, okay, that's this, that's that. I get so much information about the spirit, and I know I'm in control. So it's because of repetition and consistency. And this for me was over many years, but it doesn't have to take you long at all. You can do it in a weekend. But I had to deconstruct and then understand actually I had sovereignty. That was for me.
Well,
what about for you?
That's rule number 1, the medium's always in control.
Yes. And when you know that in your vibration with 1,000%, and I had to do it again with ETs because for me, and I'll tell you this, one of my guides is a star being. My Alchemist guide is a star being. That's a long story. I'll just tell people now, she's a future version of me and in another time zone, but she's my guide as well. Welcome to Channeling Experiment. Hello. I got to turn my fan on. She just got my Kundalini going. Thank you, Ashira. Woo. Okay, here we go. She's probably going to come in tonight. Maybe if you want to talk about Transfiguration, she's such an intellectual. I could never be as smart as her. Anyway, that's the truth. And remember her? She's like science brain.
But I'm
like, wow,
because she is you.
She is me in a future timeline. Yeah, she is. And that's amazing. But anyway, I digress. So I had to get over the thing about ETs because there are a lot of those stories that go out where you don't have control, where, they take over your body. Absolutely not. So I've had so many conversations with my guides where I've said, I am not interested in ETs. I do not want to talk to them unless I know they only come with the light. I'm not interested. So that's just been my journey. Not everyone has to go through that, but I like to talk about it because people do have sometimes those subconscious fears about boundaries, about, certainty, about trusting spirit, about trusting your guides. Sometimes you have to go through that process, and it just depends on where you come from with that.
You do. And it's important before you just start channeling to make sure you've got good development. Even working with, Reverend Glenda for the last several years, I've only been doing trance work for maybe 3 years now. Mm-hmm. And with her one-on-one at her house, like in her space, whole different ball game than learning it online. But
yeah. She's got, Reverend Glenda too is so steeped in experience and wisdom and practicality and knowing the nuts and bolts of trance mediumship, and she is just a sage, wise woman. So, it's based on history and evidence. It's not just, feel fine, you'll be fine. That's not an answer. That's not an answer. When you have to work through things, she really walks you through what it is.
Yes. And creates a safe space to be able to do things like bringing through loved ones.
Yeah.
In a 100%. Safe space. Because unless you feel safe, unless you understand if you have any fear around any of it, it's going to be really hard to blend and connect.
Yeah.
And get out of your own way. Hi, John. And to be able to properly bring them through, because if you've got your ego mind or your conscious mind stepping in and trying to translate, or if you have FOMO and you want to know what's happening. And then there's also that fear of, what if I bring someone through that it's wrong? What if I get it wrong? Who cares?
That's a big one people have to get over.
But there are ways. This is where having a mentor comes in. That you can learn different techniques. And one of the techniques we learned for bringing through loved ones is you can clairvoyantly and use mental mediumship to validate, which is how I did it with in that demonstration, where I kept getting all those musical theater references all for 3 days. I was like, whoever this is did show tunes. They did shows. Turns out, like, I was able to bring through the evidence. Someone was able to claim it. And then I said, do you mind if this person brings a message to you. And then I brought in that loved one to that friend. And it worked out beautifully. You can do the spirit identification before. There are ways when you have a mentor, when you got someone teaching you how to do things, there are different ways and different techniques you can do to get out of your own way.
100%.
But if you go in, you're like, I'm just going to channel someone, you could do more harm to the person you're speaking to than yourself or the spirit. So it's very important. And then also if there is a spirit that was not necessarily a good person that would be triggering to you for your own memories or own things,
coming into your energetic field closely.
You need to have a team of spirit guides that understand your boundaries. And this is where the work comes in.
Correct.
So this is where I'm going to go back to the very beginning of, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So it's important to develop, to make sure you understand your own boundaries, understand that, and develop that camaraderie, that deep connection to your spirit guides before you step into this space. So to Carey's point, she's been doing this since she was 22, and she hit all the bumps and all that.
Yep.
I did mental mediumship for a very long time before ever stepping into the space of trance. And I started out with just channeling and understanding channeling. And so there's just a lot of layers to it. And I'm not trying to create fear at all. I always tell people, be smart.
No, I think but you also do have to, you handle that beautifully, Lorenda. But I was going to say, I think it's very important to talk about this so that people do understand if they hit a bump, they can know how to navigate it and then get support if they need to talk it through or get some guidance, mentorship, or know what's possible. And also, you know, one thing I also want to say too is that some people, and I remember working with our teachers, but I just thought how they did it was so beautiful at the weekend, because helping the spirit step into the person's space. I loved watching the beginners do it, and when I was sitting in, because it was so moving, and how gentle Reverend Elizabeth was. It was so moving, and being right there watching the student never has done it before gives me the chills to think about it. Makes me emotional, actually, because it was so everybody. We were all kind of crying by the end because it was so, I was like, I'm not teaching, I can cry, I'm not gonna, but it was so beautiful to watch her guide, she was channeling her own guide. This gives me the chills. He was massive, his energy. And the way Reverend Elizabeth said, his energy it was like bringing in a partner. Let's just not put it into anything more than that. But it was like being intimate with an energy when you are not used to being intimate with anything in your space, and you getting comfortable with that and understanding the trust because of the system involved is so important, right?
Yeah. And so that's why I feel like it's most important to start with your own guides.
Yeah. And because that's so, we're bringing back so many good memories from that weekend.
Mediumship is always intentional. It should be.
It should be. And so, we could go into ethics.
Talk
about that later, about where I'm channeling so-and-so. No, you're not. Anyway, I'm not going to, this is a beautiful evening. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about ethics and people making stuff up. Anyway, we'll talk about it later. Chrissy's here. Okay. So what do you think, Mama? You want to get in there and do trance? Are you ready?
I'm not in that
space.
And also I've got something in my eye.
Oh no. Okay. Clear him out. I
think I've got like a
little something. I wish I could see it. Oh no.
It's just
my husband's like, get the eye flush. Do the eye flush. Okay. Do you want me to go first? So here's the other thing.
Plus, I've had one of those weeks where I feel like I know I'm going to be able to do
it. It's been a big week. It's been
I might need to. I think as you go, I'll be able to draw on your energy.
I know you will.
Which I've done before.
And usually, I know. It's good. Okay, so a couple of things we want you to just be aware of. First of all, we're so excited you're all here. Understand though, when Lorenda when I'm going to be in doing trance mediumship of course, my eyes will be closed. I'm not engaging with anybody except for Lorenda's voice and with her asking questions. Okay. And Lorenda won't be answering a lot of questions in the chat per se. So if you guys can hold your questions, but if you have questions for the spirit or the entity, that could be interesting. And we do encourage that, don't we? Because here's the thing. And Lorenda is really good at asking questions when these guides come in, because we want to, again, bring forth as much help, wisdom, guidance, healing messages from them. And it's kind of like if you've seen when people go to a Bashar event and they ask Bashar questions. So we're not doing, there's no personal readings, just saying these should be readings for more humanity, the collective, the journey of all of us, what have you. That should be more the intention of the work, just to let you know. And if you guys could just, keep tapping the screen and sharing the live again. And make sure, again, just to quickly say, make sure you're following Lorenda and I on both of each other's page here on the Clock app, but also on the U app. If you guys could subscribe there, that really helps our channel. It helps us also do free work, okay, and bring it to you guys for just free. And also make sure, watch one or two of our videos all the way through and make sure you tap. That helps our channels. And
the engagement is really good for our
engagement's we put a lot of energy into these and a lot of energy into our work. Okay. I think I'll loosen up. I feel good. I'm going to get started. I'm feeling my heart beat picking up. So I feel like it could just be anybody coming in. We'll see what happens. All right. Do you feel ready? I think I'm ready.
Are you going to bring through one of your guides first?
I'm going to see who comes through. Let me check in. I mean, it probably is Ashira, because she always has good information. So this is one of my guides, but she is, should I describe anything about her? Nothing, or just bringing her in? What do you think?
She's your future self.
She's my future self, and my I'm in her space. So I'm like going, she is my healing guide. She is my why can't I think of the word of what this I'm spacing out.
Because you're almost there.
I'm like, see you later. I'm going out. Yeah, right.
And can I point out the fact that that's what happens when we're getting ready to connect? All of a sudden, like the shift happens.
I don't know what words I'm saying. Thank you, Alchemist. That was not coming in, Ladora. It was gone. Okay, it was not coming in, and you will see very, very differently. Yeah, well, especially see the difference we were talking about before is between channeling and trance mediumship. Trance channeling, very different. Trance mediumship. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and see what happens. I feel like, do you want me to take my glasses off? I'm asking her to see if she wants me to take my glasses off. Hang on. No, she said leave them on. Okay. All right.
I'll see you on the other side. My job is to help hold battery and to be her battery and to have that good energy exchange to keep the energy flowing.
Yeah. What exactly? Okay. Very good. All right.
There she goes.
I'll see you. I'll see you on the other side. Okay. I'm just making sure my human body is super comfortable, which I feel comfortable. So that's good. She's a very high vibration. So, all right. I'll see you later, Lorenda. Welcome to everyone here. This is certainly not status quo. Would you say that's true, Lorenda?
This is so true. And it's so good to see you, Ashira.
I have been watching out for you, Lorenda, and on my end, sending you good vibrations for your comfort, healing, and your own transformation. Especially in the recent days, I wanted to give acknowledgement of the process that you're currently transmuting and growing through. I wanted to add that Dr. Mike and I have been collaborating and working on your vibration to help you and help you with heart healing. We hope that you're all well. All of the guides are hoping you are well.
Thank you so much. And yes, I have felt a big shift just today. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
This resounds with us well. We welcome in always the healing of the mediums. This is something very important to know. that if your body as a medium, your channel, and the collective that around you is not supportive, safe, grounded, stable, it's very difficult to do the work, bring through these messages. Again, the surprise should be that this is not about the ego or any type of sparse fame from showing a demonstration such as this. This is about the profound transformation and growth that currently is occurring on your planet. This is a tremendously challenging time. It's a difficult time to imagine from an intellectual perspective. And we would say that all of us, your guides, want you to know that we hold you in the highest esteem for taking the time to incarnate in this lifetime on this planet. Would you say this is true, Lorenda?
Absolutely. It was a very brave choice to come in during this time. That is for sure. And we are going through quite a bit of transformation. Is there anything that you feel like anybody who's watching that we could do differently or that we could do better? What can we do to help this process be not easier, but a smoother transition to get to where we need to be without harm?
I'm going to be very blunt with you, Lorenda, at this time, and there is a bit of a sterner message for many. Many of you who consider yourselves channels, mediums, psychic healers are not preserving or taking care of your energetic frequencies. You're not doing what is required for you to feel health and healing. And the most important thing in this equation is you. In order to hold space for others, we need to nourish our own energy bodies. And the recipe for this is different for every soul. We understand we are the Alchemist guides. We can do a lot of work on our end to change your frequency. But if you continue to make choices which feed fear and illusion, you cannot bring through your own higher self into your physical reality. And also makes it much more difficult for you to bring forth the script which you sent for yourself in this incarnation. Would you understand this, Lorenda?
I do. I think it's very important. And I understand as an alchemist guide, your job for an individual is to manage the mind, body, and spirit. But you can only do so much as long as we are actively participating in taking care of ourselves as well.
Yes. And we say this with love, with sternness, but also it's a sobering understanding that you can't play in both worlds. Yes, you are human. Yes, you make mistakes. This is part of the plan. Yes, you take time to process, to integrate, to understand. However, if you continuously say how bad things are and that you have no choice in the matters of your life, of your heart, of your destiny, you will never take the time to move forth on your path. And we want you to experience joy. We want you to experience a magnanimous, full-bodied yes from spirit in your being. But you need to let go of illusion. And illusion comes from the distortion and belief that you are not a spiritual being in a physical world. How you make change in your world is by disconnecting from the world perceptions and moving into the spiritual perceptions. And a resounding, when we meet you there and we know that you are open to help, that is when we can make the most change and transformation. Would you understand this, Lorenda?
Absolutely. And I feel like this is something that Carey and I do discuss with people, is making sure they understand words are power, thoughts are things, and what we believe about ourselves is what we bring forth about to ourselves. Could you do me a favor, Ashira, for
Yes.
those that are watching that may not understand what an alchemist guide does or how an alchemist guide helps? can you explain to people, so maybe someone who's not even a medium, how does an alchemist, because we all have one from what I understand, how does an alchemist help a human?
Each one of you has a guide who serves you well. An alchemist guide, one of those guides, helps you to transition from more challenging states in your mental, emotional, energetic, physical body. And so the beauty of this relationship is that all you need to do is ask for healing and transformation. As you beseech us and ask us these words, you bring forth such a great transformation in your energetic field as well as in your chakra system that you can move through those things which you appear to feel are so difficult. We act as a server for your energy field. We like to call it the spiritual flossing. We help you get rid of those dingier, darker energies which crowd your consciousness. And we take that energy and turn it into a higher vibration, channeled light, and getting you closer on your spiritual path, helping you receive such grace and clarity. And this is what we do. We hope this conversation makes sense, understanding sometimes my words are very technical and sometimes difficult for the human mind to comprehend. I send you an impression in my aura to your aura and an understanding of this. We believe you will understand what this means.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And how, for people who might not understand, how can people best utilize and offer an energy exchange even with you? Like how can we best utilize what you bring for us, and what do you learn from us as well? I'm really curious. What do you learn from us as an alchemist guide?
Here is the first thing we learn from you, that life sometimes feels fragile when you're in the human experience. We have learned so much over so many lifetimes, especially in that I have not incarnated as much in the earth plane. I have mostly been in other vibrational forms, so I don't know the human density as well. So the way that I learn is by being more gentle, more caring, and understanding of the human emotional experience, connections with people and places and things, and gaining a gentle understanding of the need to embrace the process, as you say. That is my role. And how do I help? In this case, how do I help the medium that I work with? The way that I help her is she says to me, I feel unclear today. I feel unwell today. I need help today. And what I do then, it's as though she has reached her hand out for help. And that is when I work on her energy to release those things that make her feel that way or make her feel distant from her own sovereignty and power, as you mentioned. I help her when she feels displaced from her center.
Okay, thank you for that. So someone had asked here in the chat, if all of our alchemists are, or how does that work? You are a future version of Carey.
Yes.
And in QHHT and doing past life regression hypnosis, I have an understanding of an oversoul and
Yes.
how we're in different timelines at the same time. Can you explain your connection to Carey, and if all of our alchemists are like that, or if it's just a unique situation to just the two of you, understanding it can be other people as well, but how can we have more than one version of ourselves helping us as guides? What can you tell us about that?
Thank you for the question.
That was a lot. I'm sorry.
I can understand everything you said, Lorenda.
Okay, good.
Thank you for the detail. Let me explain myself with this one who I work with. So, yes, I come from a different star system, primarily, you would say Sirius A. This is where I am from. My consciousness tends to connect a lot with the energy of water. And so Carey and I learn from one another. I bring her information. She brings me information. I also have been working on this planet in your time frame when I first met this channel. I've been working on this planet since the 1940s when there was the release of an explosion. You would know that.
Yes.
I'm also reminded of my wording when I'm on speaking live, as we want to keep this as PG as possible, as you say. Now, does everyone have a alchemist guide like me? Are there future versions? It depends on the soul. I would have to say we cannot make sweeping statements about each person because I know that this medium here does readings, as do you, Lorenda, where you can help identify, and also in past life regression, you can connect those people with their own oversoul as well as future versions. So we must take care and finesse not to make broad sweeping statements, simply because each soul is different. And this is why the work is so important. Now, the beauty of each person getting to know their own soul and parts of themselves is that it will become their story. It will become the thing that they help others with when they get to know the aspects of themselves. So some people have a parallel timeline. I know you know this, Lorenda. Some people also are connecting with their past selves regularly, as you know, and then also future versions. But each soul has a different contract. And in the Akashic records, as you know, you can find out what your blueprint is and all the information connected to it. I hope I understood your question and answered it sufficiently, Lorenda.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I'm assuming that you probably answered that quite well for the person who was asking the question.
I certainly am happy to rephrase anything that might have been unclear. This is always a pleasure of mine to patiently go through details because I love the details.
I know you do, and I love that you love the details. So I had a conversation with a friend today who's also another medium, that we talked about different what's the word, channels or different streams of energy that might be running through our bodies, and that sometimes there's a buildup of energy in one of those channels, and that we have to find release for that. And it may be a different channel or a different frequency than maybe us doing mediumship. But then, and for lack of a better word, maybe that other stream feels like a buildup of energy that feels magical almost, or, but through us, seems to run different, I can't think of the word. I just want to say,
I know.
Frequency.
Yes, I understand everything you're saying. I understand.
Can you explain a little bit more, that in a way that maybe people understand what I'm talking about? Oh no.
Oh, they took us off. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
Yeah. Hang on.
Everyone's going to have to come back here, Anna.
Why did your live end?
I'm starting again. We'll see what they do. They might discontinue. I think, Lorenda, we're going to have to move over to all YouTube because of TikTok. So
we weren't talking about anything.
Let's see what they say. Can you hear me okay too? Mm-hmm. Can you hear me? Okay, good. I think everybody needs to go to, this is again, why we mostly do this on the Tube of You, because of we are being censored. Yeah. So come on to the tube, you guys. So we'll wait a minute and then we'll start again. I'll come back in. So I know we know what we're dealing with right now. You don't have to worry about that on the tube of you. Yeah, they told me that was exactly right. They cut me off. Yeah. So if you join us on the tube of you, you'll see we'll continue and I'll get right back. Yeah. Because they're limiting our live. So I would probably suggest going into my, yeah, perfect. We are both on there. So we'll see you guys over here. So I think everybody knows that by now, right, Lorenda?
Okay. I'm like getting the crossover. I was trying to get so did it say why?
I know. I think that's because I have my thing down. Hang on. Say that again, Lorenda. I can hear you because I can't hear you here.
I said, did they say why?
I think I only got a flash of it, and I think it was because of the content. I'm quite sure. We probably said something. Yeah, or I don't know what they said, but anyway, I think it's going to be safer for you guys to meet us over here on this app because of what's going on right now on TikTok with their restrictions. Yeah. So it will meet you over there. Okay, everybody, which is unfortunate, but well, what can we do? We're not going to stop the information. It was probably something, and someone was like, what are they closing? All right, we'll see you guys over here. So I'll turn this off. Yeah.
Yeah.
New guidelines. We'll see you over here, guys. Follow us on the tube. See you later. We're going to the tube.
But I wonder what it could have been that triggered it. Because
I can imagine the community guidelines. It could have been like almost anything.
But almost it was really like we were having a very scientific conversation.
I know.
There wasn't any woo. There wasn't any.
Exactly. All right.
You were very like even Ashira was very careful as to.
Yeah, Ashira is like, and the word. Okay, let me kind of get her back because she's like, okay, where were we? Okay.
That's wild how she like.
That was such a good question. She just, and that's when like, this is your guide. Like, then I'm working with my own guide. Like, she's like, don't fuck around. And like, she's like watching out.
But okay. Also the fact that you immediately knew.
Oh no, like that was so quick. Like the fact that she pulled me out of it to open my eyes that I even knew it was on, that was her. That was my eyes are, I'm not even around. But that's because she's my primary. She's one of my primaries. I've been working with Ashira since I was 23 years old. So you can imagine. All right. I'm going to drop back in, Lorenda, and then
because we were getting ready to talk about something really, really cool.
It was such a good, okay. I'll just find, she's here. So I'll just get out and see you guys on the other side. I'm so excited. Okay. And you can hear me okay, right, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right.
Can you guys hear everybody okay?
Okay. Good. All right. I'm going to just get my arms how she likes them. Just so. Okay. We call that a jump start. Also, sometimes you call that a jump scare, Lorenda. Do you understand the cosmic humor in that, Lorenda?
I absolutely do. I love it when an alchemist comes in with humor.
Yes. I want to talk to you a little bit right now about the fence that you are on with this other app. I want to mention some things to you, all of you, if I may, since I have to speak in so much more of a censored way when I'm on that app. The climbing of your ascension will better be served on this platform because I will not have to censor or gatekeep what I'm saying and then the other entities. And some of these things will straddle some nuanced, unknown topics to you. And so the more you can just hear it without any restriction or through a filter, the better for all of you. Do you understand this, Lorenda?
I do. Yes.
So what we can do in the future, as you will know, and you and Carey can decide and doctor this with Dr. Mike. Ha-de-ha. We love that. We will come up with another alternative since we want our friends on TikTok to join us. We can do something such as we start the conversation, then ask everyone to join us for the actual channeling on the tube. This is much better because we do not want at any filters of fear or censorship with any of the content coming through. It's more than just the communication of the words that we are sharing with you when we come through. It is the current. And so let us talk about the current of energy. We know just where we are because we have a place mark, all of us, because I am working also with Lily and Dr. Mike and all of the guides right now. And also we are working with Patrick and Fielding and Gideon. And so we are making a circle around you, as you know, so that you can be in charge of this transmission, as it were.
Thank you.
I'll finish with this question, Lorenda. And I do want to say, I feel Dr. Mike has been chatting with me, and I feel like he's wanting to come through next. So I will give my time in your time 5 more minutes, but then I'm going to reach to my colleague, Dr. Mike, for him to come through to you, Lorenda. May we have your permission for that?
Absolutely. Wonderful. Yes.
Okay, my dear. I come into this space and we are talking about currents of energy. This is something I discuss regularly with the medium, and we love the concept of a current of energy. What it comes down to is that we each want to understand this level, if you are a medium and a channel, of objectivity and neutrality. And as you have objectivity and neutrality, you are clearly able to then objectively discern energies. And this is why when energy comes towards you, or you expand your own consciousness and you look around the spatial relationship you have around you and you say, what do I notice beside me? What do I notice in my physical body? What do I notice in the energetic body around me? What do I notice in my chakra system? What do I notice in my physical awareness? What do I notice in my partner, my neighbor, my community, my consciousness? Become an observer of frequency, of energy. Learn to discern it. Learn to speak about it as though it's the best recipe you've ever tried. Understand the different ingredients, the flavors, the textures, the way it makes you feel. When you get into this understanding and you embrace the consciousness of these currents of energy, oh, what a time it becomes. And it's because you become your own alchemist. You become your own guide. You become your own knowledge keeper. And you can then understand if a current is running towards you, if it is within you, if it's blocked, or what it needs, because you are a student of currents. Does this make sense to you, Lorenda?
It does. Thank you. Yes.
Tonight, I want to thank you all for allowing me to share this time, for it's a platform of discussion. And it's a way all of you in the audience can gain access to your precious guides. Remember, you are a community, a sacred community, a sacred space, and your guides just want to tend to your needs in partnership and become a congruent part of your daily life. Please make time for your connection with your guides. Start your mornings off with something nice to drink and a conversation where you bring your guides forth. There can be no better collective consciousness. There can be no more guidance from anyone else that you need to receive, because first and always it begins with you. Thank you so much to everyone here. Thank you to Lorenda Carr, a dear friend to this medium. And also we do want to say that our friend, Dr. Mike, would like to now speak. Thank you, Lorenda.
You are so welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings.
Blessings to you.
The funny thing is I was like, this is just going to be a familiar night because my own guides are, I didn't think, oh, my guides are going to be coming through. But I love when it's that comfortable, and that makes sense now with Dr. Mike. And I love Dr. Mike. I'm such a fan.
I do too. I like it when he thinks he's funny.
He is funny. Okay, you guys, I have to get a glass of water. I'm so sorry. Lorenda, do you want me to get you? I gotcha. Do you need something, Lorenda? Okay, you guys maybe chat a little, guys, and then I'll be back. I'm going to get some water. Very important. Can you talk to them about water? Because I can hear Reverend Glenda looking at me going, Carey, you forgot your water. She's right. Okay, I'll be right back. You guys do your thing.
Yeah. So one of the things that we did talk about at Camp Chesterfield was how important it is for water. And if you think about it, water is transmutes energy, right? It channels energy, which is interesting because we were talking about channels that run through our bodies and doing different things, different meridians in our body. And that when you know you're going to be doing trance mediumship, it is so important to drink water because it allows the spirit to blend better, mind, body, and spirit. And I'm telling you, someday there's going to be science, quantum physics, science is going to prove how this is happening. And I'm the worst. I don't drink enough water, but I've been better about it. Like, yes, water is alive in response to your words. So it also helps you a lot. Yes, it does. And I believe on our last channeling experiment, we even talked about water, the alchemy of water, and how water holds memory. But also, if you're doing, like when I was on platform at Camp Chesterfield, I had brought through 2 large entities, 3, because one was one of my guides, and then 2 entities or energies. And I could not stop coughing after I was done. And I'd been drinking quite a bit of water. So I ended up having to leave the building to go outside and touch grass. First of all, I was like, vibing so hard. And I took down an entire thing of water and had to get more. And so it is so important to remain hydrated and to really build up that hydration before you go into a trance situation. The other thing we talked about is not eating animal-based products before, if you like within a few hours, like what she said, she's like 5 hours or something like that. I don't always hold to that rule. I think it depends on what you have. I think it depends on your body and your nutritional needs. And that's something that she also did say. She said, the caveat is if you know you have to eat every so often, you have to have certain proteins, whatever, then you do it. You take care of your body because that's you get one of those. Yeah. But really big on the water. And I can attest that I'd had water that day, but I did not have enough to bring through all 3 of those energies.
Yeah.
Without feeling it immediately after.
Oh gosh, I remember that. I know you and I have to gently remind each other of these things. We kind of go, "Oh, we're fine.
We're fine.
we're such gen, whatever we are, Gen Xers. We're like, we're fine. Keep moving through it." And you know what's also, I want to make another note, and you know this, but Ashira didn't say it. Ashira is not in a physical body in the same way we are. She's still in a physical body, but it's different. And there's a bigger connection with her with water. So the fact that I'm like so thirsty right now, also, besides the other thing of Reverend Glenda telling us we should do that, that's another good point. So this is really why it's good to see us working, because we're literally working. And if you're a medium and you train, you're working. That's what you're working. So how do you feel, my friend?
I'm feeling good.
Ready for the show? I'm kidding. You're not showing. You're just, I'm going to check out and then I'm going to talk to.
Yeah, we're gonna let Dr. Mike come in because it sounds like he's got things to say.
He does.
And what's interesting is I want to give a little bit of context to the question I was asking. Oh, my crown's over here. I don't need my crown to do Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike's like, that's kind of in my way.
Yeah. And so I had a friend call me this morning and she's like, have coffee with me, and over Zoom, because she lives in a whole other state. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about all these things, and she has some medical things that happen. And like all of a sudden I got this weird download, and I've been friends with her for several years now. I've watched her journey. I've watched her. She's a fantastic medium, a trance channeler. Like, she's fantastic at what she does. And she just has these little hiccups of things. And health issues that kind of get her down a little bit occasionally. And we were talking, and all of a sudden I'm pretty sure it was Dr. Mike. So it'd be interesting what he has to say about this.
Yep.
Showed me in my mental mind that she has different
Channels of energy
running through her body. One allows her to she does Reiki and she does healing. She heals people. And then she's got another that goes through her mind for clairvoyance and for all the things for mediumship. And then she has this whole other channel that not everybody has. It's not as big as hers. And so she can literally go, I wish something about this person, and something will happen.
Okay.
She's like, I learned at a very young age, like, you never wish anything bad on anybody. She goes, but it's like, if I don't find a way to release, like it's like it just all happens at once. And it kept taking me back to one of those silly books that I was reading, because I read a bunch of silly books that are all fantasy and romantasy and magic and channeling and all the things that keep me from thinking about taxes and working and choreography. And it was like, we were talking about how her magic, for lack of a better word, or her energy just in one line of her body would build up. And if she didn't find release, it would find a way to release for her. And then that would come in a medical type event.
I would love to, you tell me what it is later, but so for the work I do, for the type of healing I do with the Akashic records and looking at all of the layers of someone's energy and their karmic energy, I would love to work with her. So, because I'm doing that in a couple weeks, I'm doing a whole diagnostic thing. And if she's open.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I'm doing it for a bunch of people. The systems, a mentor like Ashira, sort of like, there we go.
Which is interesting because it's never occurred to me, like as Lorenda.
Well,
that's not something I've ever, like, you and I have not talked about that.
Here's what I'm saying to you is that you are open. And so now, and because you're starting to do trance healing and you already get things in this way because you're opening up your channels. So now you're getting the information and getting the downloads. And I'm going to ask Dr. Mike about that.
Okay. All right. Well, let me see if I can get Dr. I feel like he's
all right.
He's feeling chatty.
How many people do we have in here now? I have no idea what's going on.
We have 30 people watching.
Welcome, friends. I'm on the support end, so we're excited. Okay. Also, you guys, since we're now on the tube of YouTube,
yeah, we can say YouTube.
You guys can put questions for me to ask. I think we're talking to Dr. Mike. You guys can put questions in. So once we get going, I'm happy to ask group questions. So just so you know, I'll ask Dr. Mike the questions, or it could be also, we could have another spirit coming through too. We just got to see what happens.
Yeah, we got to see what happens.
Gotta see what happens.
Okay. Hello, Carey.
Dr. Mike, it's so good to be with you.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I just love our time together, and this one, you just bring her so much joy, and it's just so much more fun to be hanging out with her when you are around. So thank you for that.
Well, you know, I really adore the medium, so it's easy for me to love her. Thank you.
We do like her a bit.
Yes, we know. This is true.
Yes. So we were having a fantastic discussion today, and we love it when Lorenda learns new things, and has these downloads, and we've said before, she is adorable because she thinks they're her ideas and they're ours. So she is now moving into a place of understanding this new energetic. It's not new. It's something that you have done some work and are familiar with, and understanding how the different channels and the analogy that we downloaded to Lorenda this morning in speaking with her medium friend was that if you recall that children's movie, Finding Nemo,
Yes.
remember when the tiny turtle and the large turtle, I believe, Crush
Yes.
his name, they were discussing how to most effectively transport themselves to another place through
Yes.
the water.
Right.
And using channels. And they said, just make sure to follow this channel, and it's a fast track to go this way. But if you go off this way, just make sure you get off on the right exit, per se. And
Yes.
we wanted to bring in the awareness of that fast track channel. And sometimes there are energy channels and frequencies through our physical bodies that are full of information, but they are full of power.
Yes.
And that is, it's really power, or magic is another way to put it. Everyone's access is a little different based on the needs and your chosen destinations here
Yes.
in this lifetime. Not everyone is meant to harness or tap into those channels, but it is also important to understand that this is part of our driving force and our driving power in our achievement of things that we set forth to do. And
Right.
if we can understand that this exists, but also understand we have so many people that deal with anxiety
Yes.
and even seizure disorders or different nervous system disorders that create the body, make the body react.
Correct.
Okay, in a physical sense, but there's really no logical mental reason for the body to do so.
Yes.
And many people will tell you if they go for a walk, or if they go exercise, or if they go to something like a boxing class where they can transfer energy from their body to another inanimate object. Lorenda tap dances. This has been a wonderful coping mechanism for her because it transfers the energy into another place, leaving her body. And she just didn't understand really why, nor do you really need to understand why or how or the mechanics of it. However, it's important to understand that when these energy centers in your body, these channels overflow, when they become too expanded, it changes into a different form
Right.
for us. It transmutes and it comes in as an anxiety or as an affliction of sorts.
Correct.
Does this make sense?
It makes perfect sense to me.
Okay. And
Yes.
so this particular friend she was speaking with has said it's interesting because she would have feelings of what you would read about in a book about potentially being struck by lightning.
Wow.
The hair
Okay.
standing up and feeling just an energetic buzz. And she could never understand because her healing energy was flowing, but this other piece of her. So I showed Lorenda in that moment
Mm.
the
Yes.
two
Right.
different channels, the
Mhm.
receiving and reciprocal energy that flows through, and then the one that just builds up in us and can
Right.
create and wreak havoc if you don't find a way to release that energy. And if you
Mhm.
are a person, an empath, that's a favorite human word to use, but someone who takes on the energy of others and also even other inanimate objects that
Correct.
are not living by the standard of what you would call living, that is still pulling, it is still energy. And
Yes.
if you are a person who absorbs energy, it will flow through that vein or that channel, and it must be released somehow. This is where water can help, because water flows through us and can dilute some of those things. This is also where physical activity can help us. It is not necessarily about just how strong your heart can be and the physical. It is truly necessary for your energetic body. Does this make sense?
Makes perfect sense. I do have questions. Would you like me to ask you now about that nuance?
This class is always wonderful for questions. Yes.
Exactly. And Dr. Mike is Lorenda's one of her primary guides. Okay, it's her yes, Dr. Philosopher.
What her teachers and her mentors would refer to as a philosopher guide, but basically I am just her teacher and the one who annoys her with things like facts.
We really always love when you come to share knowledge with us, Dr. Mike. You know, I have a very strong affection for you. I do have a couple of questions.
Yes.
So we're talking about currents of energy. This is very fascinating. So the energy that you're mentioning about Lorenda's friend,
yes,
can you describe this more clearly to us so we understand what it does in its specificity? And then also an aside would be, because I think, you know, we do a lot of energetic healing. I do a lot of karmic healing, as you know, in the aura, the body, the chakras, and the entire system. And so I understand how our energies that can, because of a lot of history, past life, programming, things like that. How does that square up with this current of energy? And can you describe it? So for understanding, blending, and is it different than Kundalini energy?
They are all three very different. They
Yes.
come in different places of the body in energetic fields. So what you are speaking of with past life, or as we know, not past, just linear, but in those experiences, when that leaks over into this life or carries into this life, and as we know, sometimes they are not actually our own past life experiences. These are borrowed. They are borrowed experiences to help us navigate this life without having to live through something, but to give us wisdom and to give us knowledge. But that's a whole other deep dive discussion. But what you are working with in the past life or the other life, the bleeding over or the seeping in from the higher self, is a different frequency. It is also necessary to maintain that frequency and understand what can accidentally come in based on the human's decisions, or what needs to be cleared out. Sometimes those things are brought in on purpose so we can learn. And then once we learn that lesson, we don't need them anymore. So they don't need to be playing over and over in our minds as a recording. It doesn't need to continue in a loop. It can go away. So now the other energy that I was speaking of, the channeled energy that the turtles were referring to, that is a very different, that is something that, again, everyone, all humans have this type of channel, this type of power, but not everyone has the expansiveness of it, because it's not necessarily needed in this lifetime. And this does not come from past. This is fueled in your current state of being in this human form. This is unique to that human. And again, not everyone needs it the same way. It is a power center. It is a thread of power. And if you go to, we actually had Lorenda read a book series.
Yes.
And we're all going to have a good laugh about this, I have a feeling. But this particular book series discussed channeling power.
Yes.
Channeling it from the earth into the body. And how if that power is not released,
right,
it can turn into something negative.
Yes.
It can be destructive. So it is important to find ways to release that energy. Not everyone is meant to have the big channels, the big centers of the flow of that energy. It all depends on what you are here to do.
That makes sense.
So Lorenda, for example, her power is a lot stronger than she has any idea of. She didn't even know until today that it existed. Then we have her friend, the other medium, who has understood it was there to a degree, but didn't understand how it functioned. And through the evidence of things that have happened, we were able to give her demonstration and show her how it worked and how it is to be used and managed in the future. Now, this is something that if you are curious about your own strength and power, and again, as Lorenda is transitioning into something different, going a new direction that we're taking her down. Don't tell her yet. She doesn't quite know. But as we steer her down this direction, she's going to have to learn how to harness and understand this flow of power that is very unique and different from the past life energy, from the energy that's coming from other people, from inanimate objects, from even animals. Animals give us a certain vibration. This is something completely different. And she will have to learn how to manage that in order to create the change that needs to happen and create positive energy exchanges. Because as she shifts away from tap dancing, do you see where I'm going here?
I've been knowing this for a while, as you know, Dr. Mike.
So she has to find a different way to release this energy, or it will create problems, we will say.
Yep. So, we are, yes, you and I are on the same page, Dr. Mike.
So this shift is happening, and I'm not trying to disclose anything that she would not want me to disclose, of course. However, it is very important for us to all take a look at how we take on energy, how we release it, not understanding that this is unique to our own
blueprint
human version of ourself in this moment, at this moment in time.
Yes.
Does this make sense?
Perfect sense.
What questions do you have? I know I just gave you a lot.
No, I love it. I'm digesting everything. I'm digesting everything you're saying, and I'm loving it. Here's my most interesting question that I have about, you mentioned that particular current of energy coming from the earth. And so I just want to say, let's talk about it if we go span back and look at everything in its entirety, since it is generated from the earth. Is it connected into the earth's consciousness, such as more what I like to say is the Sophic current? The Sophic current is the divine feminine current of energy, also known as mother.
It is connected in, yes. However, there is a balance with the energy that comes from above in the sky, such as lightning, clouds, rain. Yes. things that come from above. There is a balance that must happen.
Right.
If we only pull from here, then we don't have the balance. And little does, once again, we really should get better at telling her things. In her classes, Lorenda found herself saying, without being prompted, because we know that I step in for her classes often, we ground ourselves into Mother Earth. We pull up that energy from Mother Earth, and then we open the crown and pull divine energy in from above, and they mix and intertwine and create harmony and balance. It is important for what is below,
Yes.
goes above.
Now,
The
you
balance.
know, I'm an occultist, Dr. Mike. I'm an occultist. So I look at that as, I know, I look at that as sacred masculine, sacred feminine.
Yes.
And now it's not we know it's not a gender, but it has characteristics. And
Correct.
so when you're bringing it down from the up above, that is the sacred masculine coming together and then blending. So it's a harmonizing of both. Would you say that this is so?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And when you get too much of one, the power tends to build and can wreak havoc on your body. It can create an imbalance. So it is important for you to get an equal attention and calling in of both. And this is where you honestly can work with your alchemist. For you, Ashira, for Lorenda, she works with Dr. Patel, Yellow Petal. We go back and forth. So Yellow Petal will help her with that balancing of the energies.
Yes.
Okay. And if those balances are off, they can affect things like the chakra in the energy centers and the energy stations, I guess you would call it, the different places. So if we are not balanced, and this is why people feel called to go to energy healers, they need balance, they need things moved and shifted. But what we don't often recognize as humans or talk about is that vein or that channel of energy that is the one that builds up. And if it doesn't have a constant flow of release and balance, then it can do more harm than good and actually physically cause unexplainable physical reaction.
So, okay. So here's my understanding of what you're saying. And is that known as the Shishuma channel? I don't know if that term makes sense to you, but that's something we call the channel in the center of one's flow. And that some, Eastern philosophy, they call that the Shishuma channel. So we can put a pin in that, Dr. Mike. But also I will say, when I learned to meditate many, many, many years ago, we used to bring in cosmic energy and earth energy and then blend those. And then that situation itself would clear the channels. Is that the same thing? And that really is balancing masculine and feminine, but then you have to be in alignment and listen to your intuition. Is this it, Dr. Mike?
Yes.
Okay.
And some people, depending on their path, have yet another channel of storage.
Yes.
So we all have one that we come in with. And depending on the work that you plan on doing, a second one or this one that I am speaking of, and I don't believe the word that you are using is what
the Shishuma is not it. Yeah, that's the central channel.
This is not central. This one lays slightly to the left.
I can't wait to research this later.
Slightly to the left of your center. It is not the center.
Okay, got it.
Which is why it can disrupt
the balance of the Shishuma. Okay, all right. Very good. That makes sense. I also wonder if there are, this is written in some books that about energetic medicine that are a little more advanced. I'm quite sure there are a few authors who work a lot with energy medicine, and they do sometimes speak about some of these matters.
There are some, and I will do my best to lead you both in that direction to find these earthly people that do discuss these things. These things were common to indigenous peoples all over the world. Not just your current country of residence, but other indigenous tribes and peoples. This was common knowledge to them. So it's written, but finding the truth of and the full understanding is difficult to find.
Right.
But now I will be on a mission to find it.
Now, okay, here's my other question. So this current of energy we're speaking of, I just had this great question. Okay, so what I'm thinking about is let's identify what does it help when people tap into it, they learn to balance it. How does it manifest? What are the ways people can use it? What is recommended from the guides about that current of energy that's slightly not in the center? What is it? What's it there for? How can we understand it?
This is a wonderful tool for manifesting and bringing things into your existence.
Okay.
It is also a wonderful way of putting your of clearing emotions.
Okay.
In spiritual work, spiritual workers tend to have a larger storage of this.
Okay.
Especially when they are going to be healers.
Right.
They have to have the balance, even though the healing energy, the hands-on healing energy comes from a different source in the body. It comes in here.
Yeah.
Versus the other that comes in here.
Yep.
And it can be used for standing your ground.
Yes.
For self-control, self-power, empowerment. It can also be used as understanding of transmuting energies from other places.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
So it has its value.
Yeah.
If a human chooses to go in a direction other than finding a way to utilize that which they came in with, if they don't follow the path that they aligned with coming in for whatever reason, then that can actually create a lot of discord.
That makes so much sense to me. Yes.
So if you hear people say, I should have followed my path because my life fell apart, there's validity to this. And it does have to do with this power center. It can also push people away.
Lorenda and I have been talking about some of those things too.
If you have this power built up, it is just as easy to put your hand out, embrace it, and push that energy to someone and push them away. Right.
That makes so much sense. You explained that so well. So I want everyone all of our listeners here who are joining us, how can they learn to simply connect with this current of energy on like bringing whatever Lorenda and I are, and you know this, Dr. Mike, we're really trying to help our clients and students make everything simple, simple spiritual practices so they can do it regularly. And that way they have success and they can learn. What are your, what's your guidance for how they can begin to get to know it, work with it, and balance it?
First and foremost, you must acknowledge that your team exists.
Okay.
Because
write this down, you guys.
your team is what's going to help you. Humans that walk around thinking they are just gifted.
Right.
And they just do it all by themselves, come from a place of ego and will never be able to understand the body in the way that it can fully function. So it is important to understand and get to know your team, what Lorenda or what you would call a joy guide, your alchemist guide, your protector guide, and your teacher or philosopher guide. Correct. You have, and then you have outer band guides as well. You've got master teachers. There are many, many spirits that you may call upon. But until you understand your core team that's there just for you and only you, it's going to be difficult for you to understand. It is not impossible. By no means is it impossible.
Right. We hear that.
If you would like to understand how to utilize it better, get to know your spirit team. Then call on your alchemist or your joy guide who helps you manage your energy on a daily basis to start directing you to feeling and acknowledging these different channels of energy that flow through you. And as you get to know them and build the trust and understand and it's very important for evidence and validation.
Correct.
You can say to them, okay, spirit, okay, Dr. Mike, if this is what I should do, then show me a cow.
Yeah. Or an orange, as what you did with Lorenda.
I was going to say orange, but I thought,
aren't you glad you didn't say it?
Aren't you glad I didn't say orange? So we went with cow instead. Now, so do you understand where I'm going with
I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, of course. So the Lorenda is starting to fade.
Yes, I feel that too.
Connection.
I want to take care of her.
I think it's important for us to take care of her, but first and foremost, my advice is to get to know your guides, and you can sit with them. You don't need a teacher to do that. Invite them in. You have the power to do this on your own, and I mean this. It's fine to have a mentor and a teacher if you want, but we have the power in us to know our team.
Correct.
And to know, to understand how you function together, and sit with your guides, sit with your inner band, your core guides, not just your outer band, the deities and the masters. Sit with your core team and invite them to show you in a way that you can understand and comprehend how these energy centers work for you.
Correct. That's such a beautiful explanation. And the last question I had before you go, Dr. Mike, is, are you liking the schedule Lorenda and I have for currently doing the trance channeling twice a month? Does that seem good to all our teams?
For now, there might be a point where you do a little less, but it's only because things get a little hectic.
Yes, we understand.
Well, but we also recognize that you also do other work in private settings that are continuing to do this work. And there's going to be a point where you have to step back and learn for a minute and then bring more to the table, to the discussion. And that is okay. Believe me, we make sure when it's time, you are aligned and it will be done.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mike. We appreciate you, and thank you for taking care of Lorenda while with her physical and her energetic body, and being considerate, and then helping everybody here and giving us so much great information. Thank you.
Oh, and much love from Fielding.
Oh, Fielding.
Yes.
Thank you, Fielding. Oh, I love you.
We are good friends over here. here. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Many blessings to all of you. And I hope that I have been able to shed some light on maybe some confusing topics. And I look forward to communicating again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Many blessings to all of you.
Many blessings to you too, Dr. Mike.
My eyeballs.
Do you have your water next to you?
I do. Oh my God. I'm so like cotton mouth right now.
I know. Take your time. We love Dr. Mike.
He is hilarious.
Dude. Did you hear what I said to him? Aren't you glad? You didn't hear me say that?
I saw oranges in my head and then I felt him laugh. And I saw something about
I couldn't help it. I had to say it.
Like cows.
Aren't you glad?
Oh my God.
Love Dr. Mike. Love him. Okay. How do you feel? How's your human?
Human's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
Well, Dr. Mike went in that. So a couple things. We'll definitely talk to everybody in the chat, and thank you guys so much for sticking with us. That was amazing. So incredible. Dr. Mike was so, he explained it so well. I'm really excited for you to go back and watch this.
I know, I love to go back.
You can't wait for you to go back. And so, by the way, if anyone wants to come back and watch it, we timestamp each of our lives, so you can find highlighted points of each of things we're talking about and when it's changes and the content, like all that good wisdom Dr. Mike gave us. But I really, when it came to the current of energy and how he explained it very well. And it's very interesting. I didn't want to ask him that because it would have taken another half an hour. And he was like, Lorenda's human is ready for a break, kind of a thing. But on Monday, I started getting, when I was just tapping into spirit, and what I was giving the collective was mirroring this something about prioritizing your path and your practice and finding your own way and then working with the energy, or you're going to have issues. And this is kind of the point we're at. And I want to say, without saying anything about any of our personal lives, but really it's more about also us, as guides, mentors, business owners, that's what they're doing in our lives, is making us prioritize what is in our alignment so that we can help our students and clients do the same.
Right. And also still fulfill the things that we came here to do. Check the boxes.
1,000%. That's what they're telling us. That's what they're saying. Mm-hmm. I think, and I'm going to be honest, I think both of the guides came through with that. I mean, I don't know exactly what Ashira said. I know what Dr. Mike said, but they're a little bit like going, you guys, we can be as nice and as fluffy as you want about do your own thing and grow and heal, but you got to get your act together and be in alignment with what your soul came here to do, because it's got a current of energy attached to it. And if you're not in it, and not to be, alarmist, but if you're not in flow with that, you're not going to be as vibrant, dude, and in harmony, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Like, that's been coming through in your work. That's been coming through in my work. And this is just Lorenda and I, this is a channel experiment. So we're learning in real time with you guys.
We really are. And both of us go back and
open about it. We're like, shit.
I know. Both of us go back and watch these videos and we're
like, shit. What do they
see? That?
Yeah. Our humans, they're like, sometimes they look at us and go, oh, amateurs. They're like rolling their eyes. Here they go again. Well, and I remember when I was at your house, because, I stayed with Lorenda when I was in Indiana, and I can hear my guide. So my joy guide's name is Gideon. He's the one I've known the longest besides Ashira. He's this huge, he's like a big brother to me. That's kind of how he is, big Scottish guide. And after I channeled him that first time, I'd never channeled him in that way. I've telepathed with him my whole adult life. He's guided most of my life. But he said to me, when he was channeling through me, he was saying to the people who were listening later, he goes, she doesn't listen to what I say. She's working too hard. She's not prioritized. And then when I was leaving your house with my suitcase, I could hear him say, you know, I can help you with that suitcase, like lighten it so you're not literally lifting it and twisting your neck. And I was like, okay. And the amazing thing is, and I told you this, I could feel it being lifted when I was coming down that fucking staircase.
I know.
So I wouldn't break my neck.
Sorry. So just so you know, I was looking at houses today with guest bedroom on the main.
Well, yeah, because my husband said when I was at Lorenda's, oh, I guess we're moving now. He never says that. I was like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Lorenda and her husband are going to come out here next summer. So I don't know. We might have a little bit of even if you moved to Colorado, I would be so happy.
It'd be so close.
I'd be so much closer. I'd be at your house every weekend.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'd be up at your house and be like,
we're like a flight. What is it? Like $100. You know, that's like people do that all the time. Some people travel. They just do. So do you guys have questions for us? Because we're kind of like, meh.
I know. I'm like,
maybe I want to go eat a cheeseburger.
What observations did you guys notice? Like when we both went in and
yeah, that's a great call. We want to know. Yeah. What do you guys have for questions? We are sisters.
I know. And Regina witnessed it in real life. Like,
yeah, but we're better than sisters because we don't have we don't fight like that. We're more like soul siblings, you know?
Right.
Yeah, Colorado. Yeah. Do you guys have any observations? Like, what did you notice about like when Dr. Mike came in? Did you notice the transfiguration that we talked about? Things like that. Did you guys have any questions or comments or thoughts about it? Sister from another mister.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Very true. How many folks do we have in here? There's still a name.
We have 18 people watching.
Amazing.
Dr. Mike was a whole different vibe, like professor at a chalkboard kind of feel. Yes.
He's definitely that.
Ooh, yeah. How does being battery work? All right. So
that's a good question.
This is something that it takes a minute to understand. Like I can so while she's in trance, I can send her my energy.
Mm-hmm.
Which, no, it comes from a different place. It comes from a different place than that.
I know.
Thing. But it's just, I'm able to help feed her energy if her human gets a little tired, if she starts running low on battery, especially when a big entity comes in.
Yeah.
So we're just like sharing the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we have a hard time getting disconnected, if it's a big entity and the human can't get disconnected, then I can use my left hand to pull it back.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually help pull back the energy and clear and tell the entity, okay, thank you so much, bye, move on.
So you're guiding and channeling, and one thing I do when I'm battery is I'm also, if like the human, like honestly, with this time with Lorenda, she was releasing a lot from her lower chakras and getting in her body more. And because here's what Dr. Mike was doing. And he knows I'm an energy healer because I I do all that in my practice consistently. So what I was doing is, and because I'm dear friends with Lorenda, I know what she's releasing in her life as she expands. And so I was clearing energy from her lower chakras because she was freaking letting some shit go. And that's what her human needed. You guys see what I'm saying? So you just kind of do whatever is needed. You'll feel the energy. And I was kind of working on the lower part of the aura and the chakras. In this case, it's Dr. Mike. So it's totally compatible with your energy. It's not like the rising phoenix or when you brought in, oh my God. Oh my, the owl. But then who was the other big energy too that I wasn't there for?
I knew. Jesus.
Oh my God.
And then my dragon came in. I
wasn't there for the dragon.
But
I haven't done that yet.
Class. That was in Glenda's class, like in real time with all my people.
Mm-hmm. I know. I wish I was there. That was so big energy. And also like you just kind of do intuitively what your channel will need. And so you just kind of move in the energy that way. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah. And really like when we're doing it, you can tell like we get the essence of what they said later, because we're especially with our guides, because we're part of their consciousness. But I don't, if I had to think about all the details, and if you had to think about all the details, I would never be able to like talk like that, first of all. Like, even if I was play acting, it would be so not. Now the influence does influence us because we're part of their team. So we do get, like you said, they give you the idea, or I get the down, or you get the download, or you get the absorption of the awareness. Bye, Chrissy, love you. So you know what I mean? Like especially with your own guides.
Right.
And so that's kind of how it works, you know?
Yeah. We have other comments here.
Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Let's see. Dr. Mike was a whole different vibe, like Professor and Chalkboard. Okay, read that one. This was so good. You talked about all the thoughts I've been thinking about related to energy channels, water. Cool. Who doesn't love Dr. Mike?
We all love Dr. Mike.
Could feel the energy from Carey guides energy. Yeah, you could see that energy, feel the energy shift.
Yeah.
Whole personality shifted, vernacular was different. I was wondering what Carey was doing with her hands during that. That is really interesting and cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes like Dr. Mike does something with my fingertips, I feel like.
And that's interesting because this is how I was doing it. Like I've been with you all these times now, never felt as much being compelled to shift the energy like I did tonight with Dr. Mike. And it was Dr. Mike. So and I think
I also have a lot going on.
And I'm helping Lorenda, like I'm shifting the energy with like what's being released in her energetic body.
Right.
That's what I was doing this time. It wasn't so much about, it was more with the release of what's going on for her. I think that's probably accurate.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. So how would we preserve our energy if we chose to do this alone and record our experience? Set an alarm on your phone, because you lose complete track of time. If you're going to do this by yourself, it can be done. It's just same as channeling. It's not as deep of a, I don't know. I feel like
it's deeper when we're together, isn't it?
If you're going to do it alone, I'm sure you can. You may not need a person to hold battery for you.
It's lighter though. I think you're right.
It's easier. It's not as intense. And set an alarm on your phone so you come back in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. I have done that for forever, but when it's and I get a lot of information just because I've done it for so long. But when I do it with Lorenda, it's very different because it comes all the way through my body.
Yes,
like, it's different. I think when I'm doing it with just me, it's sort of upper, in the upper area, and I'm kind of getting some guidance, getting some information. It's coming in, and then boom, then I'm back. When I'm here, it's like kind of okay, you know.
So now I will say I do trance. I will do a multi-dimensional, like channeled healing type thing where I go into a trance-like state with my higher self.
Yep.
And but the questions, like I read the questions from my client when they send me the email of questions. I'm actually got to do this. I have to do one of these tomorrow. And then I will record myself.
Yeah.
Answering those questions, but my higher self and my guides just know when to bring me back. They know.
And it's the modality they've trained you in.
Exactly. So that's where going back to getting to know your guides, understand that they know your boundaries. You're like, listen, this person paid for a 45-minute reading. We need to do this. Don't keep me under for 3 hours, just chit chatting because you want to show off.
Well,
no,
but Dr. Mike was like, and she's tired.
I know.
This one is tired.
You know what? They protect me first and foremost.
Yeah, and I could actually.
I am their priority.
I was getting it when I was just. Well, I think this is probably at the point where we got it.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
So, I love that Ashira really highlighted that we are here to fully experience and joy, to follow our inner guide. Basically, yep. And not to say this a negative, but Dr. Mike reminds me of my high functioning autistic son. Well, he thinks he's funny. I'm telling you. he's very down to business, very much a teacher, but he wants to be one of the cool kids too.
Yeah.
How would you do it yourself without asking questions? Do they just talk? Well, that's where, I mean, and yes, you can do that, but it really does help.
It's good if you kind of maybe the first couple times walk you through it so you know what it's like. And what, the system, and Jennifer, if you're in my membership, we're going to work on it. Just saying, I'm like, Jennifer's.
What I also find too, is if I sit in meditation and I invite them in a trance situation, like if they want to speak, a lot of times they won't speak. They'll just download a whole bunch of information.
Yeah. Or you just kind of get them going. Yeah. They're going to get
it. Then they're like, and peace out.
I love it.
Well,
yeah. And Jennifer, you can definitely, because she's been working with her guides for like a year, at least a year now. So I think you could experiment with that, and just kind of bring them in close and then say, hey, let's try this,
And you can, and again, as you get to know your guides, there's nothing wrong with it. And you can even ask them to do channeled writing with you. Like, what would you prefer if I decide to trans channel you by myself and record you and then trans channel them? Or not, like do channeled writing with them to get their thoughts.
I love doing that. It's so beautiful. Yeah. I mean, yay. We did some of these fun things when we were at Camp Chesterfield.
Yeah. Do I need to keep getting to know my guides before I can trance with them now? I still feel new to my guides. So listen, we watched people in real time meet their guides for the first time at Camp Chesterfield and then trance channel them.
So beautiful. That's so
and that's a great way to get to know them is if you trans channel your guides, they'll tell you all about themselves.
I know.
I have always felt so drawn to it, and I feel like I've done it with
Kristen is her good friend who's and you have, and most of you guys probably have already done it. That's what that's kind of how that works.
Yeah. So, all right. It is 10 o'clock my time.
I know. I love you. So, thank you guys so much. This was an incredible session. I mean, I'm like, wow, lots to kind of digest. I love you. Thank you guys all so much. So first of all, before you guys leave us, please do us a favor to support our channels. 1, make sure you're subscribed to both channels.
Yes.
2, please watch one of our videos all the way to the end. You can pick one video. You can do 2 or 3. That's great. And watch it. Make sure you like it. Make a comment, right? Do you understand? And watch it all the way to the end. These are the things that help our channels and make them healthy channels on YouTube. And we are definitely investing in YouTube a lot because YouTube is here to stay. TikTok is very unpredictable right now.
Yeah.
And you can see already that you and I are very much, like we want to do this unbridled, and you can see we already got shut down being on TikTok.
Well, and the new guidelines kicked in, and they
don't know. I could they could have gone, well, she's looking weird and her eyes are closed. You never know. That's the thing, who knows what the bots did and interpreted it such. So it could have been anything.
Because honestly, we were not talking about.
And even and Ashira said, I'm trying to be PG. I remember her saying that, but.
Well, and we weren't really talking about anything religious. We weren't talking about any.
Nope. We weren't talking about medical. Did we say anything medical? Did I say anything medical?
Not that I know of. No, we were talking about water. We're talking about energy. I mean, like, I don't.
We'll have to see. It's crazy town over there right now. So anyway, make sure you do those. If you guys can promise, that would help us so much.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. All right. I love you. I'll see you Tuesday.
Oh, yes, for our meeting.
All right, friends. Love you. Thank you so much. Are you going to cut down the?
I am.
Okay, I'll stay here for a second.
Yeah, hang out. We'll
yeah, we can decompress. Guys, thank you.
We'll play our outro.
Ooh,
let's do that.
Whatever that is.